Hello, good morning, everyone. I am Tanmay Srivastava and I welcome you all to meeting number 282 at Speakers Den Toastmasters Club. I hope everyone is having a good morning. Yeah, looks like everyone is still sleepy. Guys, Monday is still far.
Good morning.
Monday is still far. You still have a full day before we reach that point of no return, the dreadful Mondays. But till then, we are going to have fun. In today's meeting, as we explore the agenda of today's theme, just remember one thing. And for this meeting, I only want you to remember just one thing. Have fun. Have fun, give away your fear, and just take a leap of faith. With this, I would like to start my role as SAA. Today's meeting, there are 3 ground rules. First, do not use any topics from sex, religion, or politics, because they're already causing a lot of harm in our country. We don't want it here in the meeting as well. Second, be respectful of everyone in the meeting and make sure that you are responding to everyone's speech using your facial reactions, your claps, or even the reactions. And third, we will have fun. With this, I would like to hand over the meeting to the presiding officer of the day, who is, just give me a second. Wait.
Mudassir.
Presiding officer of the day, Toastmaster Mudassir. Yeah. Over to you, Toastmaster Mudassir.
Toastmaster Tanmay. I understand the confusion because even though I'm president of the club, this is first time after a long time, I'm taking the presiding officer role. So I understand the confusion. Thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay, for introducing me. As a president of Speakers Den Toastmasters Club, I declare meeting 282 open. I would request all of you to come on camera and we'll do a small exercise. Sonal, Simi, Abhishek, Anushka, please come on the camera. Sonal. So the exercise is simple. All we have to do is clap. That's it. That's what we are going to do throughout the meeting. No matter who comes on the stage, we are going to clap. In Toastmasters, we celebrate the stage. We celebrate the fear, we celebrate the fact that you came on the stage and faced your fear of public speaking. So whoever come on the stage, just clap and appreciate that person. So today we have a guest with us, Chaitanya. Chaitanya, can you tell us what bring you to Speakers Den Toastmasters?
Good morning to one and all. I'm Chaitanya. I work for a company called ABB and I'm into finance. The main reason for me to join this Toastmasters Club is to, get to know about the communication skills and speaking skills, and also to overcome my fear, as you told, about the public speaking.
Thank you, Chaitanya. I think you are at the right place. This is where you will learn a lot about public speaking from the people like you, who are around you, who understand you. Toastmasters was founded by Sir Ralph C. Medley in the year 1924. This is when the first meeting of Toastmaster took place in Santa in California. And if you look at the timeline, it's almost 100 years of journey. And we have over 16,000 club and more than 3 lakh members in the Toastmasters community. Our own club, Speakers Den Toastmasters Club, is a 10-year-old club. And we have come a long, long way. Like I said in the beginning, in Toastmaster, we celebrate the stage. We worship the stage. We celebrate the fact that you have the fear to come. You faced your fear of public speaking and you come on the stage and you spoke. That's what we are going to do throughout the meeting. We are going to clap, we are going to celebrate, and we are going to enjoy. Today's topic is just remember one thing. I don't know much about the topic, but I'm very confident about the person who will be delivering the topic. He is none other than Toastmaster Abhishek. Abhishek is a working as a principal consultant. He thinks deeply about anything and tries to figure out root cause of any issue which are mostly related to philosophy of life. I've been through many of his table topic Toastmaster of the Day sessions, and in each and every session, he has brought the philosophy of the life and he's tried to explain us in a better and better way. So, without much ado, let me bring on the stage Toastmaster Abhishek to carry forward the meeting. Toastmaster Abhishek, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mudassir, and for providing me the opportunity. And good morning, everyone. So, if I tell you that there is only 3 words or one sentence, if you remember, then that is related to lot of areas in our life, then what would you say? Any idea, any guess? So 3 sentence, or you can say one sentence with 4 or 5 words, which is related to all the areas of our life. And I will explain with different examples and situations. So anyone can guess? Any guess?
Abundance, abundance can be in every area of your life.
Okay, that is also fine. Thank you. So I will, before coming to the topic, I will just ask one question. If I say that Earth is flat or it's a rectangle, then how you will prove? It's written on a textbook, or you may have learned, but how you will prove that Earth is round?
Scientific methods.
With scientific method, how you will prove? Or how anyone can prove directly, or to a small children, a small person, anyone? How, or in other sense, I mean to say, like earlier, a lot of people, they used to argue. So how did they find that Earth is round? A more practical approach.
Satellite pictures.
Yeah, so that is correct. So people, they kept on arguing, they kept on conflicting with each other. And once they created space, when they went from Earth to space at that height, then they noticed that Earth is round. So this has very important, creating space in anything has a very important and significant, like I mean to say, significant factor in our life. Because if you see between any stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space we need to choose our response, and in that response lies our freedom and growth. For example, if suppose you are stuck, you are solving some very critical task, or very critical thing you're working, and you're not able to solve, so what you will do? Anyone?
Take a walk.
Yeah, correct. So a lot of people, they'll take a walk, they'll create a space, or you can say many other people, or some scientists or some other people, they will just go take 5 or 10 minutes deep, they'll introspect, they will think, and they create a gap between the thing in which they are working and ourself, or the person who is working. And in that space, some creative thought, it appears. And if you see some other examples, a lot of scientists, and it has been proven that they have in like during night time, lot of time they are stuck on lot of critical things, they will just sleep, take rest, sleep, and in their subconscious mind the thought will appear how to solve that particular problem. So that is one thing where you create space and you are successful, you are able to solve that problem. Another example I will tell is, suppose you are sitting in your house and you feel very anxious, very much worried, then what you do? Like the whole area, like you're sitting in your house, everything is crowded, all the place outside, everything is apartments are there. Then you go out in a park. There also you create a space. You go out to a park, and how do you feel? You feel entire your aura, everything has changed. So the way you think. So this is as per my understanding, whatever I have read, I have gone through different blogs, heard different people and spoken to them. So whenever you create a space, your thought, everything that is synchronous, that is synchronized, and you have a lot of things, you creative thought, or you will feel very relaxed. So that is related to if you're sitting in house and feeling anxious. Another example is if suppose whenever you exercise or you do some exercise, some yoga, something, running, aerobic exercise, then what do you do? You create space between your body and yourself. So that time also you create space. And if you meditate, so what do? You create space. You create space in your thoughts. So if you just remember one thing, like how do I create space in this particular situation? So for past, I can say 1 or 2 weeks, I've seen that this particular line, if you think throughout the day, then you'll be very relaxed. And you'll be very relaxed, very joyful, very happy, and you'll be very confident. Because throughout the day, if you see, if the food you eat, like another example, say the food you eat, if you take too much food or too much oily, spicy food or whatever, or anything which you're totally stuffed, then how do you feel? It's totally packed, then there's no space. And if you take some lot of fruits and you have some space in your belly, then that time also you feel very lively. So there also you create space. So if you take all the examples, everything, be it food you take, be it exercise, be it the way you're working, or if you're working in office also, suppose you have an argument with your boss or with some person, then what you'll do? What is your approach? Anyone? Suppose two people, they're interacting and they argue and they conflict, then what is the best solution for that?
Try to clarify it.
Yeah. So clarification also doesn't work. So the reason being, other person, he has certain preconceived notion, or the way he thinks. So you just keep quiet, create space. Keep quiet for 10 minutes. You create space. Just be quiet for 5-10 minutes. If you create that space, then automatically that person, they will realize. Another example I can say is about so another example you can say is about various other things. If you're going out, if suppose you're going out and everything is jam-packed, like bus, truck, everything is jam-packed outside, there is no space, then how do you feel? So there also you need to create space. Like outside also, if it's not crowded, if there are very less traffic, very less things, then it affects your mind and you feel good. So whatever I have found, everywhere in the entire life, everything is related to only one thing: how do I create space in my life, or how do I create? And all the things are related to this only. If I take one more example, suppose if you're addicted to some TV series or addicted to alcohol, anything, then that time also there is a research been done that if you just take 5 or 10 minutes gap, or if you just visualize some another thing, or you create a space, then automatically that particular addiction, it will subside. So these are the various examples which I think has a great impact. If you just remember one thing, how do I create space in my life? With that in mind, I'll move on to how Toastmaster is organized and what are different areas of Toastmaster. So first we have prepared topics where a speaker, he will prepare for 5 to 7 minutes and he'll speak on that topic. Next, we have table topics where there is an impromptu speech and they are given 1 or 2 minutes to speak on the topic in that moment only. After that, we have evaluation section where evaluators, they will evaluate different, all the people's, be it table topic or to the speaker. So these are the 3 areas of Toastmaster. And with that, I would like to call our general evaluator, who is a management consultant, a theater artist, very humorous person who has won table topics at district level. Please join me to welcome Toastmaster Sankhya. So over to you, Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhishek, for such a lovely intro. But just a small correction: I'm not, haven't gone to the district level for the table topics. So, but yeah, I definitely wish for that. So a very good morning, dear Toastmasters and our lovely guests. And today being a wonderful day and such a great theme which Toastmaster Abhishek has brought to the table. So my role today is that of the general evaluator. As now, for those who are new, general evaluator role is to observe very critically and minutely from the starting of the meeting till the end of the meeting. And after that, I'm going to evaluate and what went well, what could have been improved. Now, to help me with this role, I have 3 musketeers with me. Now, they are popularly known as the tag team. And for that, and what they're going to do, well, let's see what they are going to bring to the table. For the first of the tag team, I have the timer. May I request Toastmaster Anushka to please present your objective, role objective as the timer.
Good morning, fellow Toastmaster and guests. So as a timer, my role will be to time all the prepared speeches, table topics, and the evaluation. I'll help everyone to stay on time, stay on track for their speeches. So for the prepared speeches, I'll track the time as per the project requirement. For table topic sessions, the time assigned will be between 1 to 2 minutes, and there will be a 30 minutes of buffer time. So after that, I'll show the red card, and for the evaluation also, I'll track as per the assigned time. So I will show the green card when the minimum assigned time is done. I'll show the yellow card when the speaker is running out of time, and I'll show the red card when the maximum limit of the assigned time is reached. So over to you, Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anushka. So just to add for Toastmaster Anushka, the evaluation time would be 2 to 3 minutes. So minimum 2 minutes for the green, 2 minutes 30 seconds for the yellow, and 3 minutes for the red. Thank you so much. Now next, for the second musketeers whom I have, may I request our R counter for the day, Toastmaster Mudassir.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Sankhya. I will be the R counter for the meeting. My job is to take note of all the crutch words, repeated words that you'll be using throughout the meeting. Sometimes it happens when you are giving an impromptu speech, we tend to take support with words like you know. We tend to repeat some words like and, so. So I'll be taking note of all those words, and I'll present my report towards the end of the meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mudassir. Now our third and the last awesome grammarian, may I request Toastmaster Kajal to please present your role.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So today I am your grammarian. As a grammarian, it is my duty to pay close attention to all the speakers and listening carefully to their language uses. I will take a note of any misuses of English languages and outstanding uses, any thoughts or quotes saying. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. So today's the word is ami- ameliorate. Ameliorate means to make better or more tolerable. So as an example, if I'll say, today we all are present here in Speakers and Toastmaster Club to ameliorate ourselves for a excellent public speaker. Each speaker is encouraged to using the word of the day by giving smileys, hearts, and thumbs up. So I'll give my report when called upon by the Zendel evaluator. Thank you, Toastmaster Pooja. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kajal. Now, with that, I would hand over the stage to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abhishek. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. And with that, I will move on to our first section, which is prepared speeches. So our first speaker is, his life has been a roller coaster, and entire journey, his life has been a roller coaster. And his speech title is My Life Journey. But before I call the speaker, I would like to call his evaluator. So please join me to welcome his evaluator, Toastmaster Souvik. So over to you, Toastmaster Souvik.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Abhishek. The purpose of the today's speaker is to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of the public speech. Timer, please note that the speech length, the time would be 4 to 6 minutes. I'll also request everyone to kindly stand up and give a round of applause when the speaker finishes speech. Back to the table.
Yeah, so can we have audio video check? So Toastmaster Venkatesh, can you just...
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, is it fine, Toastmaster Souvik?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So please join me to welcome Toastmaster Venkatesh, and over to you, Toastmaster Venkatesh.
Thank you, sir, for giving an opportunity to speak about prepared speeches. Have you ever ride on a roller coaster at least once? If not, I hope you have heard about it. It represents my life journey. Good morning, everyone. Today, I am going to speak about my life journey. I was born in a beautiful city of Bihar known as Gaya. Gaya has its own magnificence. That is, it has glorious connection to many historical places and religious places. Historical places such as Nalanda University, which is considered to be world's first university, and religious places such as Bodh Gaya, Vishnu Temple. The magnificence of Vishnu Temple is the structure of the god feet is there. And Gaya is also known as land of Buddha because he got enlightened with knowledge here near the bank of the river Falgu. I was born on a special day, that is our Hindu popular festival Holi was on that day. During my initial childhood, I resided in very remote village and took admission in elementary school. I enjoyed staying here because I helped my grandmother and also grandfather in cultivating fields. I love nature because by seeing nature how it grows and gives food to feed everybody. After spending few years of schooling in elementary education, we moved to the nearby cities for further education. By leaving my grandmother and father during initial days, I became little emotional. But with passage of time, I adjusted to it. And again, after spending 2 or 3 years, one of the most tragic moments happened. Our caretaker, iron pillar, and beloved father, which is an army man, had left all of us suddenly. At that time, my age was only around 9 or 10 years old. But in tough times, my beloved mother shows great spirit confidence, encouragement. She sent both of her sons to near army camp. Their War Memorial was hosted. And after leaving my home, during initial days, we cry a lot by leaving friends, everybody in our family, and moving to a new place. And after few years of spending there, again, our army center moved from Gaya to Bangalore. The distance between Gaya and Bangalore is approximately 2,800 kilometers. The first time in my life, it took 3 days to reach in Bangalore. I got admission in class 6 in Bangalore. Each step of schooling gave me great confidence, encouragement to involve in many activities. With the support of my friends, schools, school teachers, and staff members, I started enjoying taking part in education, sports, and co-curriculum activities. And with lots of encouragement, hard work, I also started winning medals in inter-house and inter-school competition. I was also chosen for a prefect rank in my house. When we have a annual meet or sports meets, many of the young officers would come as a guest. By seeing the stars on their shoulders, it motivates me to join as an army as officers. Today, I am doing all my hard work to achieve this. I also thank Sobik, who helps me in each way as he can. I joined Toastmaster because it will help me in inculcating leadership qualities and also public speaking skills. And I sincerely thanks to Sanko sir and Mudar Ali sir who helped me for preparing speeches. And also I want to say about a few things in my village. I love watching friends, which is very nearby. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkatesh, and please give a standing ovation to Toastmaster Venkatesh. Thank you for the wonderful speech. And by the way, I am also from Gaya, and yeah. So with that, I will move on to our next speaker, who is software engineer by profession, and she enjoys learning new skills and doing creative stuff. She loves painting, reading, and watching movies. So before I call the next speaker, I would like to call his evaluator. So please welcome Toastmaster Tanmay. So over to you, Toastmaster Tanmay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek. Today, the target speaker is going to attempt her speech, and the title of the speech is Life Away from Home. The speech is about writing your speech with a purpose. It should be well organized and should be well delivered. The speaker can choose to have any speech style. It could be humorous, informational, and either as well. I would be evaluating the speaker on basis if she is able to meet the objective of the speech, as well as the clarity, vocal variety, eye contact, gestures, audience awareness, body language, and comfort of the audience. With this, I wish best of the luck to the target speaker. Back to you, Team Mod.
So can we have audio video check? So Toastmaster Simi.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah. Is it fine, Toastmaster Tanmay?
Just one more thing. For the timer, please note that the timing of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Yeah, audio video check is fine. You can proceed.
So please welcome Toastmaster Simi, and over to you, Toastmaster Simi. Yeah.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. This is Simi. Today, I'm here to take another step in my Toastmaster journey. I'll be giving my second speech on the innovative planning path. I have this one of my favorite quotes from the Harry Potter series by the character Albus Dumbledore. Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if only one remembers to turn on the light. This is one of the lines which stays in my mind most of the time. I've been struggling to write my speech for a long time, wondering what story I shall tell you guys. Dwelling on the past few years, I realized how my life shifted when I moved out of my hometown. So I thought of sharing few things that I learned when I was compelled to float in the hardships of realities when you move out and start living by yourself independently. Living independently introduced me to myself and made me realize we spend a lot of time living life influenced by others, fulfilling their expectations, and proving ourselves to the world. Few lessons from my journey in the personal growth to become self-aware and reliant. People
Hello.
Yeah, Abhishek, you are audible. I
Yeah,
think.
is
Yeah, I think Simi dropped off. I was about to ask.
yeah. So that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can just wait.
understand them first.
Toastmaster Simi, you got dropped off in between.
I think some network issue is yeah.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible and visible now.
Can I pick it from start or shall I continue?
Your last line was about living independently. You can start after that. That's where I lost you. Yeah.
Sure. Sorry. Yeah. Living independently introduced me to myself and made me realize we spent a lot of time living life influenced by others, fulfilling their expectations and proving ourselves to others. Few lessons from my journey in personal growth to become more self-reliant and self-aware. People are like us. My misconceptions about adjusting to people from different colors, languages, cultures proved to be wrong. It is how we treat them based upon our bringing and education. I met people with lifestyles and belief systems quite different from us. Initially, I could not understand them for some time, but I learned to empathize with as we go through all the same stuff, living a life. My life, my rules. Although I was never restricted or bound to do anything, but it's the constant bugging that goes around. Where you are going, whom you are talking to, don't go outside, wear certain clothes. Go, Going out, I had got the freedom of making my own choices. And I realized your life is the summation of the choices you make, which are not limited to your career. You get the freedom of being crazy without having anyone around to judge you. I started loving my own company. I started going out and travel and see places alone, enjoy being myself. Not being hard on yourself. We've always heard things like we need to work hard to make ends meet. You need to be sincere, diligent, and cautious. You always need to focus on work and taught you can't have fun. As an introverted person, I was skeptical about making new friends and meeting new people. It was my cousin who introduced me to public meetings and workshops, and I realized I needed to go out more often, meet new people, hear their stories, tell them our stories, make new memories, embrace changes, spread happiness, love, and laughter. Another thing, self-belief. Some people will believe you new and some won't. Some would envy you and some may support you. I never considered myself worth it. I could never accept compliments. People would appreciate me and I never believed them because my self-doubt would encroach. I began journaling about things that I'm good at. Started appreciating that and also starting working on the things in which I'm not good. Appreciating success helped me instill belief in myself, and now I keep mumbling, "You can do it. You can do it." Whenever I any hardships. standing up for yourself. I used to believe my senior associate would credit herself for the task that I did. You will face situations in your workplace and others where you'll be misguided or would be blamed, but you need to speak for yourself and never allow others to make decisions for you. Life is about enjoyment. It's not only about earning, providing, or working. You should learn to grow through life by being happy and accepting everything that comes your way. Living without a doubt has made me a stronger, wiser, independent, and more accountable for all my actions. But there are also times when you're at your low or do nothing. And when you're doing nothing, you remember a lot of things from your life, experiences, hardships, fears, unaccomplished goals, friendships, etc. When preparation and good results go hand in hand, we hardly have the time to look back and appreciate ourselves. When it's other way around, we will build a lot of self-doubt, question our choices, and have low confidence. Feelings of worthlessness and uncertainty creeps in. And I feel like in those situations, we shall have faith to apply the learning and experiences we are blessed from our past years. And always be conscious enough to light up our mind and heart and seek happiness. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, Toastmaster Abhishek.
Thank you, Toastmaster Simi, and please give a standing ovation to Toastmaster Simi. So with that, our prepared speeches are done. And before I move on to our next section, one thought came to my mind. So whenever we create space, the situation we are in that ameliorate, it gets better. So you can think in all the scenarios. So now I'll move on to our next section, which is table topic. And I would like to call table topic speaker, who is a telecom engineer by profession and currently working in her family business. She has won a lot of speeches and district level speeches and also evaluation speeches. So please join me to welcome Toastmaster Sonal. So over to you, Toastmaster Sonal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek. I don't know, you're the most encouraging person.
Okay,
This is the second time you are saying a district. Thank you. I think you want your members to go to the district, so you're nudging us in this way. I've been only to the division, not beyond the division. So thank you. So table topics. Table topics is an impromptu speaking section where people are given a topic and you're expected to speak or think on your feet and speak off the cuff for a minimum of 1 minute and not exceeding 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So now that the ground rules are set, we will dive deep into our table topic section. The first topic, Toastmaster Kajal. What you give is what you get. What you give is what you get, Toastmaster Kajal.
First of all, thank you, Toastmaster Shunal, for giving me such a nice topic. So what you give and what you get, right?
What you give is what you get.
Okay. So I would say what you give and that you get is like karma. Yeah. Whatever we do to others, we revert back in another way. So I tried and I felt and I realized in my life, if I'm doing something good with others people in any way, in like I'm appreciating them, if I'm helping them, and in any way, if I'm doing for others, I felt and I realized, yeah, I revert back from their side as well. If I'm being rude to someone, if I'm not doing something for others, then I also did not get much appreciation, or the same feedback what I want from their side, I did not get. So for the things what we want from the others, first we have to do for others. Then only we can expect, yeah, they people also will do for us. So first we have to do to others, then only we can say, yeah, they will also do for us. And it's all karma. If we whatever we do to others, we will get the same to us. It will come to us. So yeah, that's all. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kajal, for your lovely take on that topic. Our next topic is to Chetana. Chetana. Escaping from work leads to more work. Escaping from work leads to more work.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak on that wonderful topic. Yeah, the topic which you've given me, escaping from work leads to more work. The thing is, I've observed certain things during my college days and even currently in the corporate which I'm working. There are some people who who try to take shortcuts and do things in that way. And, it leads to all kind of errors. And I can say, in other words, the mistakes, wherein it leads to, again, double work. So by escaping, by escaping certain things and, and instead of doing it in a particular way, you try to take a shortcut and, and then try to expect the result in that way. You don't get the result as it is. Instead, it leads to double work. And, you may have to put double the effort when you don't do it in the beginning. The best example is with students, like with the students. Some of them, they try to keep they try to study in the last minute of their exams. And, the thing is, once they study and everything, and once they sit in the examination hall, they find it so tough to remember things and anything. So had they done it like previously, that it would have been much easier. And same thing is even in the corporate as well. You need to do the things right from, when it has to be done. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chetana. Our next topic is for our timers. So can somebody time full time for Anushka? Full time. Okay, Mudassir will time. Okay, Toastmaster Anushka. Small deeds of kindness brings great returns. Small deeds of kindness brings great returns. Toastmaster Anushka.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonal, for this wonderful topic. So, as we already talked about karma, right, that I agree with that. Anything good or bad we do eventually comes back to us. Now, talking specifically about the good deed, right, about doing good things bring back a lot of better result. So this is one part is that if you do something good, it bring good results to you eventually by the universe. And second part is the act itself is so good that we end up feeling better and feel in peace and grateful. So it directly brings us the infinitely better results, that now you become more peaceful, grateful about what you already have, and also you start appreciating things that you already have when you do something good to others. So I think this is doing something, some small deeds of good, right? I think that because since it directly brings you good result, so the outcome is multifolded and it gives you immense joy and a good deed eventually. Yeah, over to you, Toastmaster Sonal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anushka. And now for our president, Toastmaster Area Director, Toastmaster Mudassir. Boast not, fall not. Boast not, fall not. Area Director, Toastmaster Mudassir.
What is the topic? I can't.
Boast not, fall not. Boasting.
Boast not.
Boast not, fall not.
Boasting as in to.
Yeah, if you boast, you will fall. Okay, so if you want another topic, think good and do good.
What?
Think good and do good.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, table topic master Sonal, for the topic. Think good, do good. I think whatever we think is reflected in our work. Even if you are not performing that work and you are just thinking about it, it's equivalent of doing that job. So not only your work should be positive, your thought process should also be positive. If you are doing some good deed and you are thinking about stealing something, but you are thinking this was just a thought, I have not done it. But your brain does not know the difference between actually performing that task and thinking about it. It knows that you have already done it. So that is what goes into your subconscious. So always keep your thoughts as positive as you can. And if you want to be a good person, your thoughts should also reflect that. They say that no one is observing your thought and you can think anything and you can do anything. I mean, doing so people can observe you, but thinking no one can observe you, only the God can see you. But that stays in your subconscious and it reflects in your personality later on. So do good, think good, and that will come to your life come back to your life later. Over to you.
Thank you to Director Toastmaster Modise. Our next topic is for Toastmaster Tanmay. Possessive leads to pain. Possessiveness leads to pain. Possessiveness leads to pain. Toastmaster Tanmay.
Possessiveness leads to pain. I heard this by our very own Toastmaster Sonal. And this immediately brought me back 2 years back, when I had someone I was possessive about. What was just a fling grew into something more complex. And what was just checking in, what are you doing, how are you, and what is it, changed into why are you doing, where are you, when will you be coming back, and all. So it led to something. I lost something. Can you guess what it is? It was mental peace. These questions, these constant ping of these questions was like a bombardment by the artillery on the mental peace. No matter how much I tried to avoid these questions, I would still be getting these questions. Where are you? What are you doing? Who are you with? And I realized that this is not going good. There is something that is missing over there. It was not any other aspect of what we tend to look for in a relationship, or while we are growing up, we idealize something. It was something which we never thought about. It was the mental peace. Because the only thing that I was getting was that I was going into Spain where S was silent. Because possessiveness led to pain. And that's all I can reaccount from my own experience. So do not be possessive. If you like someone, be happy with them and have communication. Use your Toastmaster skills in your relationships, but do not be possessive, because the only possessiveness that is good is when you're possessive about your own personal growth, not something else, not someone else. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay. And the next topic is for Toastmaster Souvik. Greed leads to misery. Greed leads to misery. Toastmaster Souvik.
Sorry, I didn't get the topic. Can you repeat?
Greed leads to misery.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Sonal, for this topic. Greed leads to one more time.
Misery.
Okay. So greed leads to misery. So from the topic, I remember a story which I heard during my childhood, that there was a guy who was very greedy about things. So one day what happened, he tried to take all the story was something like this, that he used to take the fruits from the tree and store it and then sell it. So when the season was for the fruit, what he did, he tried to pluck all the fruit so that no other people of the village can pluck the fruit. So by doing this, he accumulate all the fruit, but unfortunately he didn't have that storage space. So all the fruit got spoiled and he couldn't make any profit. So the moral of the story is that if you try to be greedy, it will always come back to you. Back to you, to table topping master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Souvik. I have covered all the non-role players. Anybody else wants to volunteer?
I can.
Abhishek.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a special topic for you.
Okay.
One second.
Special topic.
Vengeance brings pain, because you're so philosophical and all that. No? So vengeance brings pain.
Okay.
Toastmaster Abhishek.
So vengeance brings pain. And that is absolutely correct. Because when you are against, if suppose someone has spoken or someone has behaved in a wrong manner or abused you or something they have done, and if you relentlessly keep on pushing him back, keep on abusing him, keep on conflicting with him, then you will create a negative, your mind will be negatively charged. And when your mind is negatively charged, then the universe with which you are interacting, the negative situation will happen, negative people you will meet. So this I have seen a lot of times. So vengeance creates our mind negatively charged, and that in turn attracts negative situation, negative scenario in our life. For example, suppose you have you want to take some revenge or something from your neighbor, and in the morning you argued with them, you conflicted with them, something happened. Then in that moment, and after that you have to rush to office, you go on the way, you are very much anxious, you're very much negatively charged. Then you suddenly, a motorbike comes from other side, and then you hit that motorbike. So unless and until your mind is positive, you are relaxed, you are focused, it will create a disturbance, and that in turn will create pain. So with that, I will just like to summarize that most important thing is positive frame of mind and positive thing, because whatever you send to the universe, that in turn it comes back based on quantum physics, and vengeance does brings pain. So over to you, Toastmaster Sunil.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek. Now does anybody want to volunteer? Toastmaster Sunil. Yeah. Okay, and for you also special topic, wit wins all. Wit wins all, Toastmaster Sankhya.
Sorry, can I repeat that? Wit?
Wit, W-I-T, wit, wins all.
Wills.
Wit. Okay, one second, I'll just.
Yeah. Okay, wit.
Because you're so humorous.
Okay. Now let me share you a story, and this is a real story. Okay, so I was part of comedy group, and which does a lot of improv comedy shows across Bangalore. Now, one such show, the main risk about the show is sometimes people will laugh on the jokes that you made, and sometimes people laugh at you also because the jokes came down heavily blundered. So you have to catch up with both. But there was one particular day when we went to the particular show, and mind it, these are ticketed shows, so people will come to the show buying the tickets. And we had a lot of enthusiasm. And then something happened. When we saw there, the number of audiences were like only 5, and we were like almost 7 to 8 members on the team. So we were thinking that what we are going to do. So we said, okay, let's go ahead and do our show. So we started off with our show, and then it came down. I mean, it was really good. People laughed at everything. And then something happened towards the end of the show. So at the end, remember it's a improv comedy, so there was a lot of like comedy things which we keep on browsing and keep on telling, and people laughed at it. So at the end of the show, this one guy who came up and he kept on a very sad face, and we were surprised at what happened to him. So he said that, you made our day. I said, wow, that's something that's awesome. And how? I said, I was very depressed because of XYZ reasons, but the kind of humor which you bring today, that lightens me up. And that's when I firmly believe that humor or the wit, it has the power to win everybody's heart, whether you were sad, whether you were really happy, it is excellent. So that's all from me. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. Anybody else? Does anybody else want to volunteer? No. So, okay, with that, we come to the end of our table topic section. Back to Mr. T.M. Modi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonal, for wonderful table topic session. And with that, I would like to move on to our evaluation section. So please welcome Toastmaster Sankhya. So over to you, Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhishek, for the lovely Toastmaster. So we are now moving on to the third and the last segment of our meeting, which is the evaluation. And for that, we will start off. So here's the framework. So first, we will start off with the evaluation and followed by the tag team reports. And that will be followed by my overall summary of what went well and the entire report for today's meeting. So to start off, may I request our first evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Souvik, to evaluate our first speaker, Toastmaster Venkatesh.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Sankhya, for giving me this opportunity. Before I start, can I request everyone to give one more round of applause for Speaker 1 Venkatesh. Well, Venkatesh, public speaking, as a lot of people face this problem, and you told that you also had this problem. I appreciate your effort that you took to improve your public speaking. Now coming back to your speech, your life is quite a roller coaster ride. Losing your father at very early age can be very devastating for anyone. And apart from that, you have grown to a completely new place. Your schooling was in a different place. It can be very difficult for anyone. I appreciate that you are strong, you didn't break down, and you have grown to be a good human being. Now, coming to some pros in your speech, you had an excellent beginning. You gave the introduction of a roller coaster ride, which was your theme, and also introduce yourself to the audience. You also gave the insight about the place that you are from, that is Bihar. You took 1 to 2 minutes to give more information about Nalanda University, and then you told about your parents, your education, and what motivated you to join defense. You also looked very comfortable and confident. The speech was very well organized, but there were a few areas where you could definitely work on. The first was hand gestures. Your hand gestures were very closed. Your hand gesture was very close like this. I request you to face your palm like this and move it. And the second area is that eye contact. Yeah, I saw that you were looking front, where we always sitting in the screen. So it will be very good for you if you could make eye contact with all of us. The third thing is that vocal variety. Will not go into deep into this because this was the first speech. The clarity was there, and I would also request you to take breaks, not like just continue your speech, but take a little break, which will help people to understand more better. And at last, I would like to say that if you want to shine like a diamond, you should endure the pain of its cut, and you have gone through the pain. I'm sure you will be a very successful person and you will achieve all your dreams. And since it was a first speech, I wish you very best for all your future speeches. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shovik. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Shovik. Well, as a general evaluator, so I would like to add up a few points for Toastmaster Shovik. So Toastmaster Shovik, the evaluation which you have given, I completely agree with them, except for few points. One is for the hand clasp. You rightly mentioned that the hand clasp was like this almost throughout the meeting. So which indicates that Venkatesh, inside you are a bit nervous as well when you are speaking, which is obvious because this is the first time which you are speaking. We all have gone through the same phase, and it is absolutely fine when you are nervous. But the thing is that you should not show out your nervousness to the audience, right? So these are some of the things like, if you're putting your hand clasp or if you're speaking very fast in a fast pace, these are signs that you are nervous, but you should slow down. Now, in terms of your hand gesture, here is my actually disagreement with Shobik, that he said that you have to put your hand like this. It's not always you have to keep it. It should be as per the script which you are. For example, as you once you said that I stayed in Bangalore for 3 days or something like that you said. So when you're saying for 3 days, you can show it like this. So it's like 3 days, right? So it's a hand gestures that you are making. Or if you are saying that I have grown from so and so, so you can always show it like this way. So accordingly you can put it. Else you can just put your hand like this, and you can speak on a normal tone. It's fine. I mean, since it's the first time, it is absolutely fine. In terms of the eye contact, as Toastmaster Shobik points out, now in a virtual environment, how do we make the eye contact? You have to make the eye contact. If you look at the camera, then that is where all the audience members will be able to know that yes, you are looking at them. So try to look at the camera when you are speaking, then you will be able to make the eye contact properly. That's it from my side for your first speech, and hats off to you, and let's give a big round of applause because it's taken a lot of courage and encourage. It's an extremely good journey that you have started off, Toastmaster Venkatesh. I wish you all the best, and I would love to see your other speeches as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shanku sir, for encouraging me.
Absolutely. Thank you, Venkatesh. Now, moving on, for our second speaker, Toastmaster Simi, may I request our the second evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Tanmay, to please speak on your evaluation.
Thank you, General Evaluator Sankhya. Can you hear me? Yeah. They said that the first step is the hardest, but I say it's the second step which really matters. First of all, I would like to congratulate Toastmaster Simi for attempting the level 1 project 2 in innovative planning. It was a brilliant speech about writing with a purpose, speaking with a purpose. As the objective states, the speech needs to be well organized and well delivered. I think you certainly check those 2 points off your list. The entire speech has a structure in place. You started with a story. You opened with Dumbledore, because who doesn't relate to Dumbledore? And if you don't, go to the Muggle world. And then you moved on towards that how coming to Bangalore from your own place, bring that independence, that confidence in you, how things were different from what they seemed like, and how it actually, the lessons that you learned from it. Regarding the content of the speech, I have no questions. It's amazing. It was well structured. And if I were to say something, I never write content like this, because every single point was well documented. And I think that was one mistake, because it felt like you were reading it through the screen. For example, right now I'm talking to the screen. I'm looking at the camera, or maybe a bit below. But if I start reading from the chat, ameliorate, word of the day, meaning to make better or more tolerable, my eyes do this movement, which was visible throughout the meeting. It's nice to have some cards which you can refer. For example, you can just use some sticky notes, put your pointers over there. For example, section 1, Dumbledore, stick it on the screen. Section 2, moving to Bangalore, stick it on the screen, so that they would serve as the landmarks when you are lost in your speech, that where to go next. They would be those milestones which will guide you to your destination. Coming to the other parts of the speech, which I think could use some improvements. And here are some suggestions which what I would do if I would be in your place. For me, I think that the pace of the speech was a little too fast. You are talking about yourself. When you're talking about yourself, the audience is not aware about you. They are getting to know it for the first time, or maybe the second time. So you need to make sure that every word is reaching to the audience. Now, if I say this, so now my name is Tanmay Shrestha, I live in the Kadubis, and I live in the Eco World, and my office is in the Eco World and all. I know what I'm saying, but Sankhya, you might not understand. So you need to make sure that the pace is adjusted with the audience. If you're talking in a technical seminar where everyone is aware about the same things, for example, let's say you were in engineering college, you were presenting a viva. The interviewer asks, what is the Newton's third law of motion? You will start narrating it because he also knows it, you also knows it. You can go as a Shatabdi. But over here, you need to make sure that you are reaching out to the audience. Second thing is, you are not taking any pauses. As everyone says, take a break, take a pause. And that I mean for mental wellness as well. But that is also required in a speech. Because those spaces, those pauses, forces the perspective of your audience to stand there at that point and to think, where are we going next? They start formulating that story in their mind. They connect all the dots. It engages them. Next, I noticed that during the entire meeting, entire course of the speech, you were sitting like a bust, like this. This gives a stillness. The dynamics of your speech is missing from it. So you need to make sure that even though I'm not sure if there could be some constraint because sometimes there are some medical conditions all, but if you're all well, first of all, try to stand up when you're giving a speech because that gives you that extra confidence boost. And not just you, the audience also engages. And secondly, try to use your body language, not just going like this during the entire meeting because then no one would be watching you, just the hands. You need to make sure that when you're saying, when I moved to Bangalore, you're putting emphasis on it, or an element of surprise on your face, horror, and other facial gestures, because these are actually the things which makes an audience actually go from an audio speech to a visual representation of that story. That is the point when it becomes a story instead of a speech. And that is what you want. That is what every speaker wants in his or her speech. Now, one more thing, and this is again a bit personal, like this subjective as well, use of background. So because you did not use your hand gestures and body language as much, so use of background was not impacting it. But because in an ideal speech, you will use your hands, you will use your body. And that what happens is your hands sometimes go back in the background. If I have potato in the background, you will see my hand becomes potato because of the AR feature of our Zoom meetings. So try to use a avoid background, like because it takes focus from you. I was busy watching what's in the background. And last but not the least, there was an instance where you took a pause, a very long pause, just like what I did. And that is when everyone is like, is it just me or is it the internet? So make sure that pauses are well utilized because they are like those arrows in your quiver, which can hit the bullseye if used perfectly, if used tactically. But they should not just bombard it because then it's just a waste of arrows. You cannot retrieve them. What I really liked in your speech, so coming back to one point that I failed to mention the starting, the use of quotes. You used Dumbledore's turn on the lights. You used My Life, My Rules, which is technically My Life, My Rules we used to do in school and colleges. But yeah, that was a good quote. You also talked about empathy. You talked about the cultural diversity that you learned while after coming here. And one thing that really ameliorated your entire speech was when you were cut off from the internet. I told you your starting point that you were at living independently, and you immediately start from there without missing a beat. That is very important because sometimes this happens in competitions as well. If you're in a virtual competition, you do a drop off, you get something and it flusters you, you get frustrated. So overcoming that is a very big achievement, and that indicates that what a good speaker you are. I congratulate you on completing your level 1 P2 for innovative planning and looking forward to many more speeches from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tanmay. A big round of applause for our evaluator, Toastmaster Tanmay, and for our awesome speaker, Toastmaster Simi. So as a general evaluator, I do not have any point in which I can add up to Toastmaster Tanmay. Thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay, for that. And moving on, so now I will present our tag team report. For that, may I request our timer, Toastmaster Anushka, please present your timer report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. So I'll just share my screen. Yeah, so in the prepared speeches, all the speakers were within the time limit. And Toastmaster Venkatesh took 5 minutes 15 seconds and Toastmaster Simi took 5 minutes 24 seconds. For table topic session also, everyone was within the time limit. Sankhya took extra 7 seconds, but that is also under the time limit. And for evaluation, actually, Toastmaster Souvik took 3 minutes 1 second, and Toastmaster Tanmay took 7 minutes. So that is above the time limit assigned. Over to you, Toastmaster Sankhya. You are on mute, Toastmaster Sankhya.
That you have timely pointed out as a timer. Thank you, Anushka, for that. And a round of applause for our timer. Great. May I request our R counter for the day, Toastmaster Mudassir, to please present your report.
I don't know why I'm not able to share my screen.
Yeah, you can just inform that. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just read out. So there were not many uses of so, and also repeated words throughout the meeting. Toastmaster Tanmay in his essay role was flawless. I as a president used 2 times. Abhishek as TMOD was using so frequently and sometimes and also. Speaker 1 Venkatesh, you were flawless, but you were using this repeated word our. I think you are from Bihar, so they say hum, and that you are converted to our. You should use my sometimes or I. That could bring more flavor to your speech. Simi used a couple of times. Souvik as evaluator 1 used 4 times and 3 times, also 3 times. Tanmay as his evaluator used once, and I think he was using I think phrase a lot. You should not use that because you are only giving the evaluation, so it's your thought only. Sonal as a table topic master used so twice. Kajal was flawless as first speaker. Chaitanya used a couple of times. Anushka used 4 plus times, which was many times, and so couple of times and 3 times. I as a table topic speaker used 3 times. Tanmay used a couple of times. Souvik used 4 plus times, which was a lot. And Abhishek was flawless as a table topic speaker. Sankhya was also flawless as a table topic speaker. Sankhya as a GE used 4 plus time and couple of times. So that's my report for our count.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mudassir. A round of applause. For Toastmaster Mudassir, just small recommendations. So when you will be naming that, how many times the speaker on the stage has given the instead of saying few times or multiple times, if you can quote the number, that will indicate that exactly how many actual, what is the severance for that. In case somebody used for 1 or 2, it is fine that you can say very small, but in case the number is large, you can quote a number. That will be better. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Mudassir. Now we will all go to our last musketeer for the day. That is Toastmaster Kajal as the grammarian.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. So I would give my report. Then the today word of the day was ameliorate, and no one have used much. Means the people did not use much. Only Toastmaster Abhishek have used once. So I would give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Abhishek. He has used the word ameliorate and the thought saying and the quotes. So I really appreciate Toastmaster Abhishek. He explained about the we should bring a space, whatever is not means it's not depend like which situations we are, and we should bring a space so that can resolve any problem. If we are any conflicts and any problems, it can resolve. So yeah, I really like his thought process, whatever he explained as a T mode. And Toastmaster Tanmay have explained sign like a diamond in a speech. So yeah, I really liked, and some good uses, devastating, surplus, and so many good uses I have found in today and I learned today. So I would appreciate them. And some wrong uses I found as one speaker used creative thought, it appear. So there should it would not come. So creative thought appears. And for past, it could be a from past. And one speaker was using too much of the in his speech, so it can be overcome the amount like the overuse of the. And there was one speaker was saying the amount of the audience cannot be measured, so there should not use the amount, the number of audience or the audience were very less, it can be used. And the means pronunciation, someone using our r, it should not be our, it should be r. So yeah, that's all. Over to you, Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you so much. A big round of applause for our grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Kajal. Thank you. Now let me present how the meeting went by today. So we started the meeting at 11:04, which is 4-minute delay from the timing of 11. So I would request all the role takers to please be on time so that we can start the meeting, or actually before time is what we prefer. So the meeting was started by the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Tanmay. Toastmaster Tanmay, what a beautiful start you came out with. As a very tenured and mature Toastmaster, that shows how a Sergeant at Arms role should be, because you are the face of the meeting. You did not just go around with the script. You started off with an ice-breaking session, which is very much required because we have just started off on a Sunday morning, and you started off with some of the questions you have. And you also rightly pointed out the ground rules. There was a small thing which I would recommend when you started off with the Sergeant at Arms roles, or be it any role. Here you did not introduce the presiding officer, Mudassir, for his introduction, although you invited him, but you did not give his introduction. So please, no, just a small recommendation on that. But overall, big round of applause for our Sergeant at Arms. A brilliant job done. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tanmay. Now moving on, our presiding officer for the day, Toastmaster Mudassir. Toastmaster Mudassir, what a beautiful start you came out with. There was a very good way when you said that, can you please switch on the camera, and you did a small exercise which make everybody active and make everyone come on the camera as well, because in the virtual setup, it's important that we should switch on the camera. Otherwise, we cannot know, I mean, we do not know what's the facial expression is going to be when we are speaking. That's excellent start off with that. Now, you rightly, you also took the guest introduction for Chaitana, and you gave the history of the Toastmaster and included Speakers 10 history as well. So it was rightly well done, Toastmaster Mudassir. A big round of applause for the presiding officer of the day, Toastmaster Mudassir. Great. Now the baton was passed on to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abhishek. Toastmaster Abhishek, what a great way you started off. You started off with a question which was very interactive. You started off that, how do you know that the earth is round? And everybody started wondering that what should we tell? I mean, everyone knows that the earth is round, but how do we prove that? So I was scratching my head, and I can see Toastmaster Tanmay also gave an answer. But it was a very well thought of question, which you can make everyone like well aware of. You started off with a beautiful journey about your how do you convert from the pressure of work, you create a space in life, and what are the benefits of taking a space. That was very rightly communicated. You also rightly pointed out the 3 segments of the meeting, and you explained each one of them, that what's going to be stored and what we can expect in the entire meeting. Now, here are a few recommendations in terms of your improvement. One is when you were speaking, there was an unconsciously, you are moving to and fro like this. Now, this gives a very visual distraction in case you are moving to and fro. So, please ensure that you avoid doing that. There was, in terms of introducing the speakers, always you should first give the introduction of the speaker, which you rightly did, but you should not tell the speech title. So there is a specific format in Toastmaster which we all need to follow. The format is, after you're done with the AV audio video check, which you rightly did for both the speakers, the format is speech title, name, speech title. Okay, so that's the format which you have to mention, and that's an that's an indication for the speaker to start off with his speech. And so that format you have to maintain. And in terms of the standing ovation, you rightly gave the standing ovation for the speaker since it's an icebreaker. So the standing ovation carries a very unique thing in Toastmaster for the icebreaker. That whenever you are giving, whenever someone is giving the icebreaker, he is breaking the ice, and he is facing a challenge in front of an unknown audience whom he may not have seen. So it's a standing ovation. It's an encouragement and appreciation for the speaker, which you rightly did for the first speaker. But however, you repeated the same thing for the second speaker as well, which was not needed and which was not correct actually. So that could have been avoided in the second part. But apart from that, overall, a very nice job done. Your content was really good. Everybody got hooked up to the to the content which you deliver, and everybody can think and relate. It was very relatable content because we all are in pressure of various kind, be it work pressure, be it a conflict with the boss, or be it with anyone, and how do we react to that one. So that was a very, very interesting theme. Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek, for bringing such a nice and lovely theme to the table. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Abhishek.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then Toastmaster Abhishek moved on the baton to Toastmaster Sonal. So Toastmaster Sonal, what a lovely, I mean, you are a tenured Toastmaster. So you know that what can go well and what cannot. So we are very much proactive on in terms. The theme which you brought to the table, it was very much aligned with the theme of the day, which I can see. And instead of saying, or instead of requesting, which takes some time, that who can nominate, you directly go ahead and ask the members to come out with that. So that was a very right approach, I would say, because it gives a very continuous flow on the meeting. And your topics was excellent, no doubt. And overall, it was very nice. But just one small thing which I felt it was missing, maybe I missed it out. So the TTM, when you started off with it, you could have give that what is the table topic all about, because Chetna is new to the team, I mean, here. So what is the minimum time and what is the maximum time? So minimum, you have to speak for 1 minute, maximum, you have to speak for 2 minutes. So that indication was maybe, it was missing. But apart from that, really great job done. Awesome topic. Everybody loved it. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Sonal. So with that, we am done with my general evaluation for the day. And may I request Toastmaster Simi to please paste the voting link in the chat window, and I would request everyone to switch on the video as well, because we are almost towards the end of the meeting. And I would like to hand over the stage to Toastmaster Mudassir, our presiding officer of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Sankhya. That was a very detailed evaluation and we learned a lot, each and every person. The voting link is being shared in the chat. Please go and vote for your favorite role taker. So a couple of things about the next meeting. The next meeting is about Toastmasters election, which will be a club election. And we have opened form for different roles like President, VP Ed, VP Membership, VP PR, Secretary, Treasurer. Those who are yet to nominate themselves, please go ahead and nominate. This would be like a last couple of days which we'll be taking the nomination. And yeah, so it will be a proper election. If there are more than one nomination for one role, both of the person has to give speeches, and based on the speeches there will be voting, and then we'll select a particular officer. The last month you might have noticed that even though I was president of the club, I rarely took the role of presiding officer. I consciously gave up that role, the most prestigious role in a meeting, to other people like Tanmay, Anushka, Sankhya, and Ashish, because I wanted to train leaders, but wanted them to experience what it's like to lead a meeting or what it's like to bear the responsibility. And I think they have learned a lot, and they have given their name for the upcoming election for different club officers role. And you will witness them fight for the role in the next meeting, and may the best officer will be elected for the club. Anushka, do we have the result? Who is Simi? Simi, do we have the results?
We have only 6 responses.
I would request others to vote as well. I think we have 9 people in the room, so 3 responses are remaining.
So in the meanwhile, Chetna can speak about your experience, Chetna. And this is the first time you are attending the meeting.
Yes. Yeah. After attending this session, I think I've learned a lot from all of you, and not just in the communication part, generally about the different perspectives each one of you have, and the way each one of you have a different kind of thinking. And I also enjoyed the whole meeting.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Chetna. And okay, Simi, you can stop the voting now. Maybe you can announce the result, or you can share the result with Mudassir, like whatever way.
Okay.
Share the result, I'll announce.
Okay. Mudassir, you are the collaborator. You can open the link. You will be able to see the responses as well.
I'm actually facing trouble in share screen.
Okay.
I'm using a Linux laptop. Maybe, I don't know.
No issues. I'll share.
I think I'm getting the result in the chat box. So let me read out. In the first category that involve Toastmaster of the Day, GE, and Table Topic Master, the winner is Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Abhishek. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Abhishek. The second category that involve tag team, timer, R-Counter, and grammarian. The winner is our timer, Toastmaster Anushka. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Anushka. The best speaker goes to Toastmaster Venkatesh. You grab the best speaker award in your very first speech. This is very rare. So best of luck for your next speeches. And I think you have a great way ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, Venkatesh.
Thank you, sir.
The best evaluator, there is a tie. I think there were two people and there is a tie between both of them. So Souvik and Tanmay both get the best evaluator award. The best table topic goes to Toastmaster Tanmay. So these are the results. Category 1 Abhishek, Category 2 Anushka, Speaker Venkatesh, Evaluator Souvik and Tanmay, and Table Topic Master Tanmay. Congratulations to all the winners. And with this, we declare meeting number 282 close. I request all of you to come on your screen and let's take a screenshot. Sonal?
And also to show the reaction of the love sign. We need a lot of loves and best wishes. Okay, let me take the screenshot. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, let me take a screenshot quickly. Yay. Okay, yeah, great. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone.
We can stop the